Well, ladies and gentlemen, here I'm at Think It, Plan It, Do It Now with Anthony Francis, who is the author of this book. Today is the launch, and it was a good launch, and I'm here supporting Anthony Francis. Anthony, how was today? Yeah?
It's been a real pleasure. I mean, it's been so great to actually be here today at the book launch.
Yes.
And to have everyone come down and support me. So really tremendous atmosphere, and I'm really pleased.
Well, as you know, I think you always say nothing happens until you start.
Correct.
Yeah. And there's no second book until the first book.
Correct.
But that was what happened today, because people haven't even read the book yet, and they're asking for the second book. That is how awesome it is. So the first thing is to do it and to start it now. But what is some of the key highlights, would you say, of this book, Anthony?
Well, I think the key highlights of the book is really around actually. Well, I suppose there are four key highlights.
Yes.
I think so. You've got you've got to get clear on what you want to do. You've got to have clarity, and you've got to have a vision, and that really is the foundation.
Yes.
As well as the clarity and vision, you've got to be really clear on what your why is. Why are you actually pursuing whatever it is that you want to do? Because it's no good just having the clarity. You've got to know what your outcome is at the end of it.
Exactly.
So that's one of the first steps. The second step is really then to have the courage to actually then take action. A lot of people these days, they have a clear vision, but then they then get scared either by fear of failure to actually then do anything. So I think the key thing there is to make sure that you've identified what you want to do, you're clear on what it is, but also then you then have the courage to take action and put in place a plan to execute that. The third thing is then to be committed to what you then identify that you want to do. Because if you're not committed, there's no way that you're going to follow through.
Yes.
So it's important that you actually have that step in place.
Yes.
Otherwise, what tends to happen is that you then get distracted.
Yes.
You then the next shiny object comes along, or more importantly, you then just lose faith.
Yes.
So that's important that you actually are very committed to what you want to do.
Yes.
And the final thing is that you've got to be consistent. If you're not consistent in taking steps over a given period of time, and what I mean by that, they've got to be manageable and they're going to be realistic. There's no point doing something which is out of your comfort zone.
Right. So what are you saying? People can aim high, but you've got to aim high realistic at the same time.
You've got to be realistic in how you aim.
Yeah.
Because if, for example, if you're not a marathon runner, and the first long distance race you do is a marathon, guess what? You're going to fail.
Yeah.
And that failure will then have a psychological impact on you in terms of how you then move forward in anything else that you do. Because the first thing you'll be thinking of, I failed at the last event, so I won't want to now. I won't want to now proceed something else.
Yeah.
So do something that isn't going to knock you back. Take manageable steps,
bite-sized chunks, if anything.
Bite-sized chunks, but also more importantly, celebrate your successes
At the same time.
If you've got 10 steps to your goal and you hit number 1, celebrate that. Tell people about it. If you got to number 2, celebrate that until you get to the end, and that's the thing that keeps you going.
Right. Now, one of the things that I want to do, and we discussed this because on the Silburn Show, the first time I'm going to do this is to do a collaboration. And ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do with Anthony Francis, I'm going to think it, plan it, do it now. We just hope that it turns around properly. Think it, plan it, do it now. I'm going to be, for the month of January and possibly for going on into February, we'll be using some of these key quotes. Taking action is better than a great idea. And we might be talking about this and say, what do you think? Taking action is better than a great idea, because I have a great idea, Anthony. You're going to say, right, Silver, as my coach. And Anthony is like a default coach, I've got a great idea. What are you going to say to me?
Well, the first thing I'm going to say to you, if you've got a great idea, how you actually identified that?
Yes.
What are the steps that you're going to do with this idea? What do you want to do with the idea?
Yes.
Because simply having an idea in itself isn't a goal. All you've got is you've just made yourself a vision, but that vision has to then be broken down into a real solid step.
Yes.
And this is what the book tries to outline.
Yes. And also, one of how to take action, because we'll be talking about things like how to take action. Because having a great idea, but the next step is taking action for it to become a reality, isn't it?
Yes, and that's the hardest step, because people find, and this is what I mentioned earlier, people are scared of change.
Yes.
Nobody likes change.
Yes.
We see it all the time with the banks, the utility companies. The reason why they have these low rates of interest is because they know that nobody's going to change and leave.
Yes.
It's almost a case of it's better the devil you know.
Yes.
So you'll find that people will either stay in jobs, they'll stay in relationships, they'll actually, they'll do the same thing over and over again, purely because they don't know how to move on forward.
So what in essence, what they're doing, they're trying to stay in the safety zone.
They want to stay
They
in the
want to
safety
break.
zone.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, fantastic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, well, that is it. So check it out, and there'll be more on Anthony Francis on Think It, Plan It, Do It Now, because we'll be talking some more about it. But I'll be collaborating for the month of January into February. Think It, Plan It, Do It Now, collaborating with the Silburn Show, and we'll take it from there. Thank you very much.
Thank
Anthony,
you.
thank you, and well done.
Thank you.
Successful.
Cheers. Thank
Awesome.
you much again.
Cheers.
Thank you.